Hi everyone. So today we are going to. It is alive, and I please let me introduce myself. My name is Diane, and then I am the head of English study program in Wagi University, and so there are two uh, live here. First of all, is that the YouTube, and the second one is that the TikTok. So our agenda today it's feeling like the what is that lecture. So I don't provide the slide. Actually, I was going to provide the slide, but I do not. I canceled it because I don't want to feel it like a really lecture. And then also, not to mention, I was assigned to do this for the uh, youth, for the students in university or probably in high school. And then the thing is that today we are going to talk about the common mistake, the English mistake that we all make. So probably you you will find some kind of the phrases or the sentences that people use, but it is actually not really English because, English is used in many countries. It's like the because tracing to the history, it is what is it called? Um, Many countries were colonized by England, UK. So that's why we study English here. And then there is the Singaporean English, Indian English, Indonesian English, and we feel like this is the real English, but actually not really. For example, if I ask you, like, how are you? And most of you probably will say, I'm fine, thank you, and you? That is really typical. Like, I found that answer from the elementary school until even in university students, and that was like really typical, not only in Indonesian but mainly in Asian countries. You can name it, like probably China, Korea, even Japan, things like that. Like, how are you? And it is typical, like, I'm fine, thank you, and you? Things like that. And that is really typical. So, uh, many native speakers, English native speakers, find it really, not really, but quite weird actually, because that is not the appropriate answer for the how are you. You can answer it with great or I'm good, things like that. Or you feel like it's so so, you can just say not bad. Not bad in bahasa Indonesia is lumayan, like that. And then the next common mistake that people use, or normally we do, is that what is your hobby? We usually say that what is your hobby, and we usually use that to get too close to people, like in the sorry, in the what is that, in the how to begin the conversation. What what is your hobby? That is not a really common phrase or sentences actually. So you can change it with what do you do in your free time, like that. So uh, it means that in bahasa Indonesia, apa yang kamu lakukan, apa yang suka kamu lakukan di waktu luang kamu. So it is not necessarily like what is your hobby, like that. And then the next mistake that we usually do in conversation is that what is your job? So I always say this to my students, like, it is not really appropriate or probably even polite to ask people, what is your job? Like that. We don't use that actually to ask someone's occupation. We use, what do you do? So if I have to, if I want to be a bit more academic, I'm going to explain it in the grammar way for just a little bit. Because why we use what do you do? It is because we use the simple present formula. The simple present formula is used for two functions. The first one is that to state the general fact, general truth. For example, I teach because I am a lecturer, so I teach English in a university, right? Uh, that's what I do, and then also that is the fact. So somehow, if you ask people their activity, their habits, it is not just one or two times. It is a routine. You ask them, "What do you do?" Not your job. If you want to stress it, you want to emphasize your meaning, it is you can add what do you do for a living. So it is more directed, it is more significant, like that. And then, so please use what do you do for a living, not what is your job. Okay. Next, I want to drink coffee. So we usually say drink it. So it is not necessarily that drinking coffee used or totally wrong actually, but the thing is that you can use more appropriate words like I want to have coffee or I want to have uh, tea, things like that. Okay, not necessarily drink, but have. I'm sorry, I still have cough. It is so kind of deep, so much struggle actually these days to maintain the mental state, mental health, and then also the workload. Okay, next is that after drinking coffee, we go to can you introduce yourself? So probably you find some kind of the new friend. You want to make friends, even like the foreigner, let's say, you want to get close with someone, and then you want to know them, right? You want to know their name and probably where they live, things like that. And then you say, "Can you introduce yourself?" It sounds like mandatory, and then a bit not a bit too formal. Actually, it feels like the interview probably even the interview even in the interview, the questions like this doesn't actually appear. So somehow you can use another sentence like, "Can you tell about yourself a bit?" That sounds a bit like not informal, but still polite. But it's still it is light. That doesn't sound mandatory like that. And then the next is that my English is very bad. So it is not really recommended for you to say my English is not sorry. My English is very bad or my English is bad, like that. So it is not really recommended. The thing is that first of all you have to be confident about yourself. Like it is not our uh, our national language anyway, so you don't have to be sorry about that. And also, uh, you can change it with other words that's still appropriate. For example, English is not my area, English is not my field, uh, something like that. That still sounds professional, actually. So I think that is the whole sentences and phrases for today. Is there any questions of you guys? Probably. How long we are gonna take this?
Usually 45 minutes.
5 minutes more? No, because I don't really know.
45 minutes usually.
45 minutes?
Yes, and wrote about around 45 minutes.
Wow. Guys, could you help me because I only prepared the material for probably 15 minutes and then I need to be here like 30 minutes more. Dang. Ask me some questions. Um, 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 um. So can I invite you, Dafa, here?
I already asked Dila. It's okay if you want to.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
30 45 minutes, or if you already completed. So,
Okay, so but probably saya mau nanya kamu aja deh ya.
okay.
Kamu gak usah in frame di situ aja, it's okay. So, how long did you graduate from the university?
How long? Recently, like a few months.
Few months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your experience studying English?
Mm, I don't really study English in university. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really have the, what is it called? It's like there's no English in my
Mm-hmm.
university before.
Oke, kamu punya ini nggak apa sih kayak challenge gitu hambatan? Karena gini ya, the thing is that beberapa teman saya yang dia itu habis lulus usually itu ngambil private gitu ke saya untuk speaking karena mereka uh, butuh komunikasi dan presentasi gitu dalam
Mm.
bahasa Inggris. So, what is the challenge, the biggest challenge gitu menurut kamu?
Uh, buat aku sih biggest challenge itu untuk use it daily sih, apalagi kalau ketemu orang secara langsung.
Mm-mm.
Personally aku gak ada no problem kalau in chatting atau writing
Mm-mm.
something, tapi kalau communicating in real life itu kayak harus converse sama orang lain, itu
Mm.
aku mungkin ada problemnya di situ agak.
I see. I think that is the most of people's problem karena um, kebanyakan tuh kayak yang apa somehow hesitate gitu ya untuk berkomunikasi in real. And then the thing is that mungkin nggak tahu ya. I think ada salah satu faktor juga yang membuat hesitation itu bertambah growing. So one of them is that the grammar police. Ya kan? Salah, kamu harusnya pakai was gitu. Salah, kamu harusnya pakai do, does, did, things like that. Nggak tahu ya, many Asian people tend to do that. Like the smarter one has to be the grammar police. And then the thing is that it is not really good. Not to mention is that the way, yes, it is wrong, but actually the way you tell people. So that's why we need emotional intelligence to correct people. Not necessarily like you're wrong like that, but actually how to deliver it so that people understand our message. So that is the importance of emotional intelligence. Not only IQ, but actually how to feel the empathy and how to know that our message is delivered uh, in a appropriate way. That is the thing. Okay. Any other challenge? Any other experience you want to share with us?
Mungkin kalau um, kan kalau ketemu different people yang dari different country itu kan mereka
Mm-hmm.
punya apa sih namanya accent masing-masing.
Mm-hmm.
Itu mungkin problem yang lumayan besar juga untuk
Mm-hmm.
mengerti accent orang lain.
Iya, kamu punya pengalaman ini enggak, Deva? Berbicara dengan foreigner dari mana gitu, bukan yang dari US atau UK ya? Dari mana
Um,
gitu?
Karena mungkin pas ke Korea
Hmm.
itu kan, Korea sama Jepang kan mereka accentnya sangat-sangat mereka gitu, sangat-sangat dari bahasa mereka,
Iya,
itu sulit sih.
apalagi not to mention with a strong accent ya.
Ya,
I mean in a way that It is not that we don't understand the English, but the accent. Yeah, the thing is that accent is not something that shameful. Mungkin itu bisa teratasi dengan jam terbang yang lumayan banyak ya. So the thing is that we accent is actually not really the problem, but we can overcome it by interacting more with the people. Kayaknya gitu. For example, I have experience like what is that? Assisting the foreigners, and then the first time I saw the Australian guy, and then we had a conversation and talk, and communicate, blah blah blah. It was really hard for me. Kenapa ya? Di Australian itu it is like the combination between the black people accent and then the uh, British. It's like, oh, it's what is that? It's mind blowing. Like when they talk like, it's fast, and then how should I say that? It's literally different from what we watch or hear on the song or in on the TV. One day, uh, my guest name was Nathan. He bought something like a bandana, and then he called my name and, hey, yeah, look at this. This is Kula. Kula? What does he mean? So it's like cool? Coca-Cola? What's been on my mind is like Coca-Cola, but it is impossible, right? So, oh yeah, that's cool. And he said Kula, Kula. So that is the not the strange, but the accent. And my very first interaction, the foreigner with the Australian guy, and then that somehow, even with the native speakers itself, we will find the many different of accent, and not to mention with the British also, like they don't really speak like us, like clear like us, right? And then you probably saw the what is that meme, Adele, like how fast she talks, and then how strong the British accent she has, and then British accent and fast speed talk. You can imagine. So that's why I think accent is another thing, but to master the daily communication is the first thing, and also it is cultural. It is really cultural. English Indonesia and English Singaporean is quite different, and also the U.S. English, American, and the UK. It is also different. So uh, my lecturer always say that if you want to exercise your speaking, it is necessary for you to have a partner with a foreigner, and actually that is a yes. As simple as like this. When you say uh, thank you like that, many people will think that you are polite, but actually in our culture, Indonesia, it is so usual and so normal to say like, oh, thank you, can, could you please help me, things like that. Not native speakers not really talk like that actually. It is because we concerned about the politeness, we concerned about the how to treat older people, how to treat the uh, people, how to treat the kids probably. So there is the hierarchy on age like that. Okay, no questions, no. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bye, see you guys on another live. Thank you so much.